stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leave him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need pre-wishes. Stay-at-home Disney dad.
Is going to be a monster. So the whole point of this review segment is me watching Disney movies for the first time with my daughter, of course, but really it's about my adult takeaways, and I have never seen a second of this movie ever, but I feel like it's an important movie. Like, I've heard people talk about it like they do the Mighty Ducks. I don't know. I know nothing about baseball, so this should be fun. Okay, Angels in the Outfield. Did they spell angels right? Because the makers of our dog mug sure didn't. We press play, we get the usual ads, then Muppet Classic Theater. What the hell is this? I've never seen this VHS tape anywhere. 150 some weeks later, these things can still surprise me. Feature presentation, scrolling blue logo as God intended. Walt Disney Pictures presents Danny Glover and Angels in the Outfield. Another thing I suck at is names of famous actors and why and what they were famous for. Google Danny Glover, Lethal Weapon. Okay. Tony Danza? I don't know. Okay, I know he's not the boss. Christopher Lloyd, like Doc. Okay, I guess I do know some actors and roles. Okay, this is already a fun stacked cast. A bunch of A-list actors and Tony Danza. Take that, Danza. Two kids are on bikes. Do you believe in heaven? That's where they say my mom went. That's where they say my dad went. Maybe they're together in heaven. Why is Maggie's house called foster home? There's a lot of sad right off the top. Plus, these kids are having like a whispering conversation while outdoors on bikes. Doubtful. They get home and one kid has a visitor. It's Dad, and he's a Disney deadbeat dad. See, there's three types of dads in the Disney universe. The deadbeat, the overprotective, and the bumbling nerd. Oh, okay, there's four. Some are dead. This dad is wearing a leather jacket and he's smoking. He came to say goodbye. He's going up north. I did what I could with you. Maybe if your mom wasn't dead, things would have been better. Well, bye. Wow, don't soften that blow or anything. The Angels are still his kid's favorite baseball team, and he tells him now, he's like, kid, the Angels are in last place. No one likes losers. And the kid asks, when can we be a family again? And Dad says, when the Angels win the pennant. The kids do live in a foster home, got it. We get baseball game footage. The Angels baseball team are indeed losers and bubblers. Manager George Knox is mad. He goes to the pitcher, you're out of here. They fight. The team is fighting itself. The other team runs out to fight the Angels, and the coach is like, no, they're fighting themselves. Let them do that. That's pretty funny. Does that happen in baseball? The kids are watching the stadium baseball game from in a tree. One kid is the kid from Third Rock from the Sun, and I mean also Inception, but security finds him in the tree and tells him, you better have a ticket for that tree. Okay. The announcers are bickering. One is smoking and is cocky, and the other guy's holding his coffee cup way too high, so guess what happens next? Cocky ashes his cigarette or drops it into the bitch's coffee. We see Tony Danza in one of those metal tubs that I have no idea what they do. He's soaking his arm. It's got to be better. The manager Knox storms into the locker room and kicks over the catering table. Practice tomorrow. They're going over the fundamentals. Atop the stadium, the manager meets with J.R. Ewing, and he's like, trade them. Trade all of them. They suck. This isn't the movie I thought it was. Was I thinking of Field of Dreams? I don't know. Okay. George Knox is getting interviewed now. He was brought in to turn the team around, and the season is only half over. Back in the foster home, the kids have bunk beds, and there's 3 of them in this foster home, and now they're all up in each other's grills. They didn't wash their faces. They didn't say their prayers. Roger, the main kid, lays awake, and he wishes upon a star, or he prays, God, if there is a God, I would really like a family. And my dad says that'll only happen if the Angels win the pennant. Oof. You could see where this is going, and as a parent, I'm just going to break my own heart now and save myself the pain that's going to happen in like an hour now when the Angels do win the pennant, and his dad still don't want him. Why don't he want me, man? An Anaheim Youth Service bus pulls up to the stadium, and it's like poor kids' day, so the bleachers are full of kids. More trouble in the team. Knox is fighting with the one pitcher. Coach tells Tony Danza / Skip, you take too many pain pills. Coach, you were the one stuffing them in my mouth. Yeah, and you were the one swallowing them. Oh my God. The regular pitcher is the idiot of the team. He hears the anthem and he thinks the first line is, Jose, can you see? It's about you guys, he asks his Hispanic teammates. 5th inning, 0-0, and that's exactly how exciting I remember baseball being. There's a hit to center, and Roger watches as an angel comes down and helps this guy make a miraculous catch. There's a choir of angels helping the Angels, the team. Roger sees guys in sparkling pajamas. No one else saw them. He's the only one that could see angels helping the Angels. Now Doc from Back to the Future slides in beside Roger in the bench. The bleachers is like, I saw an angel as well. Big budget on the special effects here. It's just Doc in a white shirt. His name is Al. No one could see him except Roger because Roger asked for help and the Angels answered. Some fat guy sits on Al and they like morph together as the same person because he's an angel. It's terrifying. Al pulls free and flies away. An angel takes over the final batter for the Angels and they hit a home run. He actually smashes the bat and the bat comes apart. Home run in the 9th to win the game. Yep, after 3.5 hours, it's a 1-0 victory for the Angels. Hooray, baseball! He excitedly says, there were angels in the outfield. And his friend JP says, yeah, 9 of them. It's good stuff. Then there's a raffle to meet the team, and Roger's friend JP won, but he gives Roger the ticket because, quote, he doesn't like to meet strangers. Coming from an orphanage kid, that's f***ing chilling. Roger wants a picture with the coach. He tells Knox there were angels out there. I saw him. Knox says, great, a psycho kid. Don't you screen these people? Roger warns him, something is going on. You'll see. I'm hoping for a 10-minute winning games and making the playoffs montage right away so I can duck out from taking notes and sip my beverage. Roger asks the foster mom if angels are real, and she gives him a 2-minute runaround answer and then is like, sure. And he's like, me too. He's sitting on his bed looking out the window at the stars like the dick kid. For real. This guy. Wasn't that at the end of like Teddy Ruxpin? The home run batter tells the coach he felt kind of funny before he swung, and Knox is like, you felt funny? That kid was right. You must have been inhabited by a sports-savvy angel keeping a promise to a kid whose dad abandoned him. Knox asks the foster mom if Roger tells a lot of stories and lies. She says no. Most kids who are abandoned by their parents have a good sense of the bleak reality that is life and have had their imagination stomped out of them long ago. This movie is so much fun. Baseball and broken homes. Knox asks Roger about angels and he's like, yeah, I prayed for them. Knox looks at Roger's friend JP and goes, does he talk? JP looks at the ground and Roger says, of course he talks. He just doesn't like strangers. Again, with the bleak childhood abuse foreshadowing. Here we go, next game. More people in the stands. Roger and JP are guests. Knox is like, hey Roger, you want to get those angels back for this game too? Jesus, suddenly Al is in his cola. He's like, don't tell anyone about us. For some reason, Knox, while coaching, keeps coming to the stands to talk to these two kids. He sees an angel massaging the worst hitter's shoulders. So Roger's like, take out your best hitter, who is up next, and swap in the worst hitter, who's being massaged by an angel that no one else can see. So the coach does. And the team gives a collective gasp. Is this what a pinch hitter is? Apparently, this is the most baseball I've ever watched, probably ever. The angel batter is up and strike one, strike two, strike three. The angel reappears, gives Roger the finger and floats away. Just kidding. The ball like floats in slow motion. He smashes it and runs the bases while the other team bumbles. He slides home and wins the game. Was that Adrian Brody I saw? Wow, the sports broadcaster was like, have they turned the season around or is this a small blip of hope on a terminally ill patient? Knox is like, he came through. The kid goes, yeah, because of the angels. And he's like, sure, whatever, kid. Knox wants the kid in his ear for every game, even on the road, so he's going to get him a phone. He tells the kids to get in the car, but JP won't get in the car because he used to live in a car with his mom. And when he gets into a car, his stomach ache comes back. Don't like that. Knox gives them a ride home on the bus instead. I guess that's okay. They get home and Miguel is gone, the third kid. He got placed in a different home. The homeowner's like, that's what happens. I'm only a short-term home. Roger says, maybe we'll see Miguel one day. In court? My man. We are back on the diamond and the Angels are playing their nemesis, the Tigers. Roger says, I see angels. And it reminds me of that scene in Natural Born Killers. So good. Sweet Jane, right? Oh. The Angel is with Tony Danza, whose arm is gone. Roger tells Knox to play him, and he's like, no way, his arm is busted. Doesn't matter, the Angels have spoken. He's been endorsed by the Angel. Knox is like, you really do see something. All right, I can't deal with Tony Danza with a mustache. The coach comes in and says to Danza that he's off the reserve, and he's starting today. He does the, you talking to me, coach? Announcer says, Mel Clark. That's Tony Danza. Mel Clark hasn't started a game this decade, but here we are. His warm-up pitches are garbage, but an Angel appears behind him and bam, throws a strike. Montage of him throwing 7 innings of strikes. They win the game, and the kids start screaming at the coach, I told you! I told you! As a favor to the kids, he gets all his friends together for a neighborhood baseball game with the coach, like the poor kids on their poor street corner. This is fun. All these poor kids playing with a celebrity. This feels good. One writer cast his own kid in the scene 100% because there's some clearly untrained child who looks right into the camera and mutters his lines. Coach calls some little tubby kid Babe Ruth. More games with the Angels, and the winning continues. Now the Angels, like the heavenly creatures, this is confusing, are not only helping the Angels, the baseball team, win their games, they're actively making the other teams lose. Would Angels do that? Anyway, the Angels are now in first place. They're 1 win away from the division title. Oh yeah, and now the main kid, Roger, has some adoption stuff, some court meetings that popped up. I kind of zoned out for a second there, but he can't make it to the next Angels baseball game, so he thinks the Angels are going to lose. Coach is worried because Roger isn't there either. He's in court. His dad's in court. He's legally severing all ties with Roger. Number 1, I thought he already did that. Number 2, I feel like I'm about to get that stomach punch finally. Roger comes into court and he's like, Dad, can you believe it? The Angels are only 1 game away from the pennant. Then we can almost be together again. And Dad gets up and walks out. And I saw this coming and I braced myself and it still f***ing sucked. And while Roger was getting his heart stomped on by his own biological father's cleats, and not at the game, the Angels lost. After the game, the announcer guy is all sketchy, and he talks to Roger's little buddy JP, and JP tells the announcer they lost because Roger wasn't there, because Roger brings the Angels to help the team win. I see angels, Mickey. They're coming down to us from heaven. One of the greatest movie scenes ever, honest, legit. Anyway, Roger now belongs to the state of California. Coach is like, damn, sorry little dude, but how about bring those Angels back for the next game, right? Roger's sassing the coach who's trying to help. Coach is now Roger's like father figure. He's creeping around his home. He comes and he cooks. Now they're sitting outside looking up the stars and Rogers goes, no God up there. And coach puts his arm around him. Yeah, let's just fade to black out of the scene. Now, in the newspaper, the announcer ran the story. JP told him about Roger and the Angels, and this is bad news. The owner reads the story, and he relieves George of his coaching duties. He fires George Knox for being a crackpot. George doesn't want to go. Instead, the owner's like, all right, fine, let's have a press conference this afternoon, and you denounce all this Angel crap. Press conference time. Will he or won't he? Man, everyone is in this movie. That was Adrian Brody. Remind me to look at the credits again. And again, I'm not a big, know the movie star by name guy, but I recognize a lot of these faces, so this must be, the future A-listers of Hollywood. George was going to read a statement, but instead he does crumples it up and decides to shoot from the hip. Braveheart speech time. Maggie Nelson, the foster mom, stands up and has a speech of her own. She goes, when a player drops to one knee and says a prayer, or makes the sign of the cross, no one says anything. Wouldn't God and angels be on the same team? Like George Michael, you gotta have faith. And like Cher, you gotta believe. She says miraculous things can happen. Now the team all stands up and they're like, we're angels, aren't we? And Danza says, I won't play for anyone other than George Knox. The entire team agrees. If you fire him, you gotta fire us all. All right, let's go to the last game and let the Angels cheat so they can win the big game pendant. Nice shots of the stadium, downtown Anaheim at night, sold out crowd. Angels versus the White Sox for the Western Division Championship. This is fun. They made this seem big. Something you really notice on some of these old VHS tapes, however, is how loud the background music is. This is one of those times. All right, Sox are up 2-0. Where are the Angels? Top of the 5th. Angels still down by 2. 6th and down by 1. Monster home run to tie the game. I know this is a spoiler, but nobody's mentioning how there's no Angels helping the team yet with this victory. We got to the 7th. Oh, now the Angel comes back and is like, hey, we can't help the championships have to be won fairly. We can't intervene. I'm only here to check up on Mel, the pitcher. And he tells the kid, Mel, the star pitcher, smoked his whole life and he's going to be dead in 6 months. Well, enjoy the game, kids. See ya. Whoosh. Tied up at bottom of the 8th, the Angels take the lead. Now they have to hold on to the 3-2 lead to win the game and everything. Danza is out there and he's exhausted. Sox hits a single. Can we just jump ahead to when bases are loaded? Danza is coughing because he's a smoker. and he's gonna die. Bunt, and one down, but one out, and something happened, and my limited knowledge of baseball fails me, and no one scored. Okay, someone tell me what the play is. Bases are loaded, 2 out. Here we go. Great tension here. 3 balls, 1 out. No Angels. He hits deep, but it's a foul. 2 outs, 3 balls. George wants to pull Mel, but the kid won't let him. George walks out to pull Clark, but swerve. Mel says, Tony Danza says, I got nothing left. George says, you got 1 strike left. And he lies to Mel and says, you got an angel with you. The crowd starts waving their arms like angels, I guess, or chickens. I don't know. They let Clark stay for the final pitch. It's a hit, and Tony catches it. He catches it. Celebrations. The Angels won it. Back at home, foster mom is cheering with Roger and the kids. Roger's social worker called, and he has a permanent home now. JP runs out of the room sad because Roger's leaving, and the mom chases him. And this leaves Roger and the coach alone in the kitchen. I wonder who adopted him. I mean, it could be anybody, right? Coach is adopting Roger. He's adopting JP as well, but poor JP didn't get like the big dramatic reveal. It's just like, oh yeah, you're coming with us, kid. Knox is like, get some sleep because tomorrow you and I and the Angels are going to the racetrack. Credits: Danny Glover, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Adrian Brody, Matthew McConaughey. McConaughey completely missed him. What was his catchphrase? All right. No, that's Owen Wilson. I don't know. Baseball.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some